Hello once again, AVID Juniors. Welcome back to week 10. Hopefully you had a nice fall break, feel a little bit rested, feel a little bit, I won't say completely rested, but hopefully you had a nice little break to get your mind back together because of the crazy start with all the digital learning that we had at the beginning of the year. Now hopefully you're in the flow of things and things are kind of moving along and you're ready to finish out this semester strong and getting your grades up as high as they possibly can be. That's a key for us as juniors. Your junior year, probably grades wise, is your most important year because this is the last set of grades that colleges will see when you submit your college applications. And you might be like, wait a second, I thought we don't do college applications until senior year. That's true. Just like the seniors are doing college applications right now. But here's the thing, because they're doing college applications right now, and the semester doesn't end until December, they're not going to get final grades until December. And by then, the college applications have already been turned in. So the grades that you will actually put in your transcripts, the calculated GPA and all that good stuff, will be your junior grades or the last set. So it'll be your junior year, your sophomore year, and your freshman year. But your junior year really shows who you are right now. So getting grades up is uber important. Which brings us to what we're going to be doing this week. So let me go show you in the online notebook. What do we got going on? Not that. Okay, here we are, week 10. College research report. We're going to get to that in a second. Before we get to that, there's a couple of basic, what I call housekeeping issues, which are small little tasks to do this week. A tagger. This might be new for you. I'm not sure if Mr. Moran ran a tagger. I'm sure he did some type of grade reflection, some type of look over your grades and how's it going. I actually run mine digitally through Microsoft 365. So this is why, that's why I call it Tagger Online. Tagger, you might be like, what the heck is a Tagger? Like, what is that? Tagger stands for Tutorial Analysis Grade Reflection. It's like, whoa, it's a mouthful. Basically, when we are doing tutorials in AVID, if you remember tutorials in AVID, we would pick a question to do breakdown for our tutorials. Well, we would pick a question from a class that we're struggling in. How do we know which classes we're struggling in? We would look at our grades and how we're doing. And so what a tagger basically means is I'm gonna look at my grades, see where I'm strong, see where I'm weak, pick a question from where I'm weak, and then that'll be how I do tutorials. We're not running tutorials digitally at the moment. So we're going to do just the grade reflection part without the tutorials. And so that's what a tagger is. It basically asks you to go look at your grades. I'm going to show it to you here in a second. Because we are going to be continuing to do digital learning, we need to set up our Cornell notes for the remainder of the semester. And so I give you instructions on how to do that. It's basically the same thing we did before the break, but it's different weeks. And then you should start Cornell Notes this week. So go to your classes, get notes, or whatever they give you, videos, articles, tell you to read something, lecture, anything that gives you information, and create 3 questions and a summary from those. And I will say, for those of you that have done the Cornell Notes, the scores have been great. They've been awesome. The tutor has been impressed. He's giving almost perfect scores to just about everybody. Even if you don't get a perfect score, I've seen people getting like 77 out of 80 or 79 out of 80, which is great. So good job to those folks who are doing the Cornell Notes. You're doing them right. You're doing them well. Just keep on top of it so we don't fall behind in our learning. All right. So the individual assignments. So the first one is that tagger I talked about. So the way you do tagger is you go to this link. And it's going to link you to the forms, which is kind of like Google Forms, but this is forms in Microsoft 365. It's basically a survey. Brings you to this page here, and then you put in your name. And then for your classes, I want you to go into Jupyter, and I want you to pull off what is your current grade right now in these classes. So for English, you would put the percent and letter grade. So maybe you got a B+, B+, if I could actually capitalize, there we go, B+, and I'd say, you know, maybe I got an 88%. Math, how you doing in whichever math class you're taking right now? Maybe you've got a C at a 75%, okay? Most of you, if not all of you, should be taking U.S. history right now. So in your history class, what do you got going on? Let's see. Let's say history is not your thing. So let's say you got an F right now, and you're sitting at 52%. Okay? Be honest with yourself. Got to be honest. AVID. There's a lot of good grades in AVID. I'm just going to throw out a 90. Oh, I'm going to throw out an A for 95%. Having problems with the capitals today. And then you have a fifth class and a sixth class. And this is why I leave it open, because we're not sure. Everybody's taking different electives. Let's say that, for example, you're taking human anatomy. I want you to type in the class, abbreviate if you need to, then give me the grade, then give me the percent. And I don't know, let's see. Let's say you're taking art. And maybe art's, it's kind of not your thing. So you got like a C and you got maybe a 72%. Okay? Then question 8 asks you to calculate your GPA. So you're going to go back through and you're going to say like, okay, B is a 3, C is a 2, so that's 5. History, F's, nothing for F's, so it's still 5. AVID, an A is 4, so that's a 9. Human anatomy, that's another 4, so that's 13. Art, that's a C, so that's 2, so what am I at? 16, I think, if I'm keeping track right here. 16 divided by 6 is 12 or 2.6, so I'd say 2.6, like that. Now, when you calculate this, don't forget, if you're taking AP US history, you get an extra point for that. So if I go back to my history, well, I'm taking an F in history, so that doesn't matter. But if I had a B in history, let's say I got that going on. Remember, a B in an AP class counts as a 4. An A counts as a 5. A C counts as a 3. They don't usually give D's in those classes, and then F's are still zeros. Or if it's honors, count that as well. So honors or AP, make sure you move it a point higher when you calculate your GPA. Okay, some people forget that. All right, question 9. It says compare your current GPA with the GPA you had last week. Okay, so when we were in class, I would have you keep a grade log week by week to keep track of your grades and how they're doing. We're not doing that right now. So really what I want you to do right here is just, how have you seen your grades over the last 2-3 weeks? You know, are they going up? Are they trending up? Are they trending down? Are they basically staying the same? And then it says, explain why this trend is occurring. So what is it? Like, why do you think they're going up? Why do you think they're going down? Why do you think they're staying the same? Okay, the why is very important to AVID, because that helps you understand how your grades are turning out the way that they are. All right, then get to question 10. It says, choose the situation that applies to you. If you have all A's and B's in all of your classes, then you click this box and you are done with this survey. You don't have to go any further. If you have some C's, okay, click that. If you have some F's or D's, you click that. If you click the bottom 2, you got to keep answering more questions. So you keep going. So number 11 says, looking at your current grades, which classes do you need to improve in? Okay, so I was failing history. So I said I need to improve in U.S. history. And I had a C. Oh, my goodness, I can't type today. I had a C in art, so I need to include that one too. Okay. On your next tagger, what GPA would you like to have for a class? You know what? I'd like to get myself up to about a 3.0. I think I could get there. Explain what you are specifically going to do by next week for each class. Okay, so what are you going to do in U.S. history to get that grade up? I will contact my U.S. history teacher to see if there is any extra credit and to get help for the next test. Okay, what are you going to do in art? I have a project that I have not turned in for art, and I will get that in by the end of the week. So whatever the situation is, figure out what you're going to do. Not just, oh, I need to do better. I need to study more. I need to get my work done. That's too general. Okay, that's like somebody who's like, oh, I'm going to lose weight. How are you going to lose weight? I'm just going to exercise more. It's not specific. If you're not specific, it's not going to happen. Let's be honest with yourself, okay? You need to say some very specific things that you are going to do to actually make this happen, okay? People who talk in general terms, just like, oh, you know, one day, like that one day never happens. It doesn't. So be very specific. When you are done filling all this out, click submit, and it sends it to a form directly to me, so you don't need to turn anything in on Jupiter. And that is how you do a tagger. It'll be a challenge the first time you do it, but as you get used to these things, it'll be a breeze and a piece of cake. Okay? So it's like a survey. Fill it all out, turn it in, and you're good to go. You get credit for doing it, and I will give you feedback in Jupiter about how your grades are going and if things are looking good or you need to work on things or something like that. Okay? That is assignment 1 this week. Look at your grades, see where you're at. And this is a perfect time to look at grades because, like I said, we're starting the second half of the first semester. Next, we need to set ourselves up for those notes. So just like you did before, underneath your name, you go in there, you make pages for each of the weeks. Set them up for weeks 10, 11, 12 through 17. I'm not sure we're going to do every single week. There may be hiccups in there depending on what happens with a school program, but let's set them up anyway. It's easier to delete them than to go back in and add them. So set up week 10, week 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So I should see a page underneath your name. I could use Brian as my example, as I always do. So when I click on your name in class notes, see how we had week 3, 5, and 6, we combined 7 and 8. I should see 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And you should have these blank boxes with the blank headings and everything already in there. That's what you're going to get credit for on the assignment. Okay? If you have trouble with that, let me know on Wednesday or Friday, and I'll show you how to do it if you cannot remember how to do it. Okay? All right. So 2 things so far. You got to do a grade reflection. You got to set up your Cornell notes. Again, so far, piece of cake. That'll take you like maybe 20 minutes tops. All right, as you scroll down, I'm going to do Cornell notes this week, but again, you can't do the Cornell notes to the end of the week. Once you've gone through your classes and you've learned what you needed to learn, make sure you pick 4 classes, 3 questions per class, 1 summary. Like I said, you guys have been doing a fantastic job with that, so keep it up. And then the assignment number 4, which I did not label that properly. Okay, let's talk about the college report. So before the break, you should have turned in a college report, which was 6 schools that you did research on. You gave me information off of the website. You gave me information, I've listed it right here again. You gave me information off of Google searches, a positive quote and a negative quote. You've given me information about diversity. You've given me information about its location, okay? So 4 things for each school, and you did 6 schools. All right, this week, I want you to do 6 more schools, not the same schools that you did before the break, but it is not due this week, okay? If you go to the top here, I kind of skipped over this. Notice I'm giving you not till this Monday, but the following Monday. So you got 2 weeks to get this report done. And this report, as we'll talk more on Wednesday, is going to be a final version of the report. So you're going to take the 6 schools from before, and you're going to combine them with the 6 schools that you're doing now. You're going to make a total report of 12 schools. You're going to edit it. You're going to spell check it. You're going to make sure it sounds right. You're going to make sure it's beautiful. And then you're going to turn that in. Why is this important? If you go to Jupiter Grades right now and you look at this report by itself is going to be like 20% of your grade. And so we don't want to, half-ass this thing. We want to make sure that it's going to be nice. It's going to be perfect. And that is why I'm giving you 2 full weeks to finish up 6 schools, combine it with the 6 schools from before, and make a beautiful 12-school college report. Okay? And that will be due, like I said, you got 2 weeks on that. So that is not due this week, but you should be working on it this week. So this week, other than the Cornell notes, which is kind of an AVID standard, really not too much work. So make sure you get jumping on that college report. And I will link this video right here so you can always go back and look at it if you're not sure how to do any of this stuff. And that is our week 10. So make sure you come on Monday and check in so you get credit for attendance, but we will talk about all the work for the week on Wednesday in class. All right, I'll see all of you then.